Okay guys, here we are. We're going to be doing some live storm coverage here. It looks like my video is lagging quite a bit. Oh God, why is it doing that? Alright, so if you can hear me, just go ahead and make a comment in the comment section below and hopefully the video can catch up. I'm going to try to figure out here what is slowing me down a ton. But, oh boy, alright. Yeah, I'm still I seem to be lagging behind quite a bit here. So just give me a second. I'm gonna try to figure this out. Okay. Hardcore delay. Okay. Oh, am I on here? Am I on here? Hello? Hello? Okay, let's see here. Am I live on the stream? Oh, okay. All right, here we go. I think I got it. Sorry about that, guys. Seemed, of course, my computer decides to have problems really for the first time in a couple months as storms are beginning to happen. So just bear with me. I know you guys can hear me, so I'm just going to do audio. You can hear what I'm saying. I'm going to try to explain everything as well as I can, and hopefully the video can catch up and continue as we are doing this. Again, I apologize for the computer deciding to have some problems here. I'm not sure what's going on, but first things first, we're just kind of do a general overview of what's happening on the screen behind me here. We have a storm fired to the south of Dallas, of course. We have it to the south here. This storm looks pretty good. It's off to the south to the west of Hillsboro, Texas, moving pretty much east-northeast. We're watching storms streaming off to the north from it, possible north splits that could potentially go up into the Dallas area. In terms of places further to the west and north, I'm not entirely, we kind of lost our satellite feed for a while. I'm not sure if other storms are going to form off to the north and to the east over by Mineral Wells and Weatherford and stuff. We're watching this very carefully because obviously if any storms form here, they'll move directly into the Metroplex. But in the meantime, looks like we have another severe thunderstorm warning that just got issued for places a little further north, to places just south of Claiborne. However you guys say Cleburne, and over by Grandview and Carl's Corner, that area is severe thunderstorm warned. The most interesting thing, and what we're probably going to focus on here for a while, is much further to the south. Some storms formed here just to the east of Austin, have been moving off to the north and east. And the big thing is this one storm is pretty potent looking, heading towards College Station. So we're going to probably do a live team coverage on that, College Station. As you know, Texas A&M is there, decent sized population, and this storm looks like a monster right now. I'm not sure how big of a hail it is that is falling, but we'll look into it right now and figure it out together, guys. All right, okay, I'm going to now jump things over to Analyst. Go into the better radar here. And, well, I have the Dallas radar up right now, so I guess we'll start with this. So, to the south, so right now, let's see, I'm going to look to the north. There is no activity to the north of these storms right now. So I'm not going to say that this is the show. I'm just saying right now, from what we're looking at, there isn't anything else firing at the moment. So we're going to focus on this and storms further to the south. Again, the computer models today were kind of wonky to begin with, and now we're seeing how that's happening. Right now we have a pretty sizable storm here over Meridian, and you can see, if I move out of the way, you can see the CCs are very low in this area. The storm's really kind of wrapping up good. Yeah, very impressive. I go back a little bit. This is while I was trying to get the video going. There were some showers off to the south of the storm here, and I was thinking if this storm is taking off, it is going to kill those showers and dominate, and if it isn't really taking off, it's going to get sucked in and kind of die. And in the time it took for me to get the video going, it has killed all of the storms off to the south, so this storm is about to become a friggin' monster. So this one, if I bring on a couple other indices here, you see a lot of hail KDP, not much melting involved. Yeah, they got when did they get the quarters reported? Not too long ago. I'm willing to bet that is going to be not dropping quarters anymore, and the hail size is getting larger just to the north of meridian here in these greens and blues, probably very rapidly getting up close to that baseball size hail. As this storm is really deepening, it's really starting to get some good rotation to it. If I pop up the rotation on there, yes. And again, this is moving pretty much to the, it's making a curve now to the east, southeast. I'm curious if it's either going to go due east or if it's going to try to make this curve and start going southeast. That's the thing with these storms. When they really start wrapping up and they root to the ground and they start taking off, they tend to turn. The question is, how much are they going to turn? If we do a really hard turn here, guys, it'll head down towards Waco. But if we continue to just move due east, then we'll probably see it just getting to the south sides of Hillsboro and then continuing east from there. Moving a little further north, this one storm over by Blum here. This one, it doesn't look super impressive right now. And big thing to note here is we're watching this north split as well. See this little guy coming up here? This could cause some problems. North splits are notorious for kind of catching people off guard and dropping big hail. Looking at it right now, does not look like there's much hail in it. But again, we'll be watching this carefully, because if this keeps going to the north and strengthens, then it'll move directly into the Metroplex. So we have to watch this extremely carefully as these storms continue to move on. And see, I'm looking off to the west, and yeah, I'm not really seeing much off to the west. I think this storm may be starting to get really dominant here, and it's currently warned. It's really only warned for quarters. That's ridiculous. This thing is really starting to take off. Yeah, we're mapping bigger than quarters on this for sure right now. Okay, I'm going to change radars. I'm going to go further to the south here. I'm going to try to take a look at this storm that's heading towards College Station. This is to the east of Austin. There was a couple model runs earlier today that oh, holy cow, man, that's a huge marker. Sorry. Yeah, wow, boy, this storm. I have not looked at this storm in about 10, 12 minutes now. So seeing that come up, this thing is kind of a beast here. What did they severe thunderstorm warn this for? For ping pong ball size hail? Ah, man, I think this is dropping bigger than ping pong balls now. Yeah, I'm willing to bet this thing's dropping over golf ball size hail right now. It is a huge marker on it. This is a 3.6 inch. It says 3.6 inches, and this is heading pretty much due east. So College Station is right here. Storm is in Caldwell right now, and it's kind of probably heading down towards the south side of College Station, unless it continues to obviously curve even more, and then it'll head down towards I don't know what else is around there. Well, if it can make the great journey, it can turn, and then we could have a real Hail Mary pass and have Houston get hit, but I don't think that's going to happen. That is a big journey for it to make. But just showing that, we have the really big storms, explosive development, and significantly farther south than what really was modeled today. I think a couple model runs showed a couple storms forming here, and for the most part, it showed up and then disappeared again right away. So we're really kind of leaning on, well, that probably is not what's going to happen. It only showed up on 1 or 2 runs, only to immediately disappear. But lo and behold, we had storms form, and we even have a couple storms trying to form to the west of San Antonio that I'm looking at the moment. The storms to the west of the San Antonio area seem to be staying fairly weak. All right. Whoops. So right now, we're keeping an eye on it. Obviously, San Antonio is a very large city, but looking at it right now, it doesn't look like it's strengthening any, but it is still worth noting to keep an eye on. And we have other thunder showers trying to pop up in and around Austin, Texas. None of this looks like it'll be severe and dropping any severe hail. They all seem to be exploding when they get to the east of Austin. Like this one storm right now over the Elgin area seems to really be blowing up right now. And also this other storm to the north of it over to the west of Tanglewood. Both of these storms are now taking off we'll see if this one can start going dominant or if they'll get sucked up by these little showers. And checking in on the storm as it's going through Caldwell right now. I bet they're either getting extremely high volumes of hail or they're starting to get some bigger hail in this. I know only quarter reports have come in so far, but we will see how that pans out. I'm sure it probably has around golf ball size hail unless the melting going on in the storm is like pretty intense, but I don't think it's that intense down here, but we'll see. We'll see as the storm continues. Can answer questions that anybody has. Okay. Broadcast interrupted. Okay. Okay. Well, why is my broadcast interrupted? Am I still playing? Okay, there we go. Sorry, guys. Moving further to the... I'm going to move back up to the north now. We're going to keep an eye on the storms over south of the Dallas Metroplex right now. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask them, and I will answer them. Any updates, Frank? On your end, anything of note? A penny report? I'm sure that was from a little bit earlier. That's the storm in Meridian is just now really starting to take off. Yeah, this is starting to really get a more classic supercell look. You can see how right here you have the rotation center, probably where a wall cloud is forming right now, and then you have it arcing off almost like an eagle off to the north and to the east. And the big hail is going to be hanging out right where the CCs are much lower here, and the greens and the blues. And the storm is continuing to just kind of strengthen, organizing itself a little bit more, and is continuing moving to the east. Question is, will it hit anybody of note, or is it just going to continue to tear things up out in hill country here in Texas? Okay. Okay, Dallas. People are asking about Dallas. All right. Oh, we got a new warning on here on this storm, and they have 70-mile-per-hour winds and $half size hail, so they have not warned this for anything bigger than $half. Whoa, what is going on with my... There we go. Let's see here. CDR looks pretty good. KDP looks pretty good. Rotation looks pretty good. Well, the National Weather Service tends to kind of underdo it on the warnings sometimes anyway. I don't think it's only dropping $half size hail. I'm pretty sure it's dropping much bigger hail than that. Let's see, the north split does not look that impressive, and in terms of Dallas itself right now, I am not seeing anything forming at the moment, so I'm not sure if we're going to see any kind of big-time storms, or if this is the big-time storm that the models are advertising, and they were off by about 50 miles, and we just see it continuing to roar off to the east, and possibly continue for a very long time if... we probably see it get all the way to, like places like Palestine and further into eastern sections of Texas. Otherwise, yeah, those are the storms that we have going on right now. Let's see, we got other comments saying we got just south of DFW here, no hail, lots of rain. North Dallas hail. Right now, I'm not seeing anything that would indicate storms firing over there right now. I know there was a bunch of energy coming in. We were watching over by in Parker County, not Parker County, Palo Pinto County. We were watching an outflow boundary left from the rain this morning, and a big piece of energy that was roaring towards north central Texas, and that's what's kind of fired off these storms. I was kind of putting my money on that the storm was going to fire there, and then things didn't really fire. Ended up getting a storm firing down to the south and to the east. And I think this is going to be the big storm that we weren't sure if it was even going to form or not, that has been advertised. It's just further to the south, and is going to continue moving eastward, possibly hitting Hillsboro, and most likely staying south of Corsicana. Further to the south, we're watching this storm as it's heading towards College Station. Man, this thing had a big old hail spike on it as we're on there. I'm going to switch radars again. I only can have one radar up at a time on here, so you got to kind of take that moment to see things change over, and we can check out that storm. It's still just sitting over Caldwell. It is not moving very fast. On Caldwell? How? Only quarters on that? No way. It's gotta be crazy high volume if it's only quarter size hail. There must be a ton of melting going on. I did not really look at the environment in this area too much because I wasn't expecting big storms here today. It was much further south than what we were expecting, but we will see. Derek got to work on those Texas names. Yeah, well, you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm pointing to it on the map. You guys all talk a little bit differently. And, so yeah, look at that. Got a quarter report. Really? Mix of down to quarter size hail 2 miles northwest of the Caldwell Airport. So maybe these things are just dropping a ton of quarter size hail. That is crazy to me. Yeah, that's interesting. Again, we're just, I'm just saying this as I'm seeing it, and I'm kind of surprised. This storm looks like a monster as it's moving through. But if it's only dropping up to quarter, $half size hail, then so be it. Or we'll get a report of 4-inch hail, 3 hours from now. One of the two. If it comes up to storm chasers and the public, well, we'll see. Chances are, so if it is only dropping quarter, $half size hail, it's dropping an insane volume of it. Or it's dropping much bigger hail, and it's so warm at the surface that it's actually melting it quite a bit as it's getting close to the ground. Those are the two things that I can really think of that would indicate why this hail is smaller than what we're seeing on radar. We obviously will adjust our maps accordingly to what ends up being ground verified truth. That's what makes us different from the other guys. Okay, I'm getting some questions here. Watching. Better have a little roof on it. Do you think Arlington might get some hail? Right now, as we're looking at some stuff, we got a tornado warning on this storm to the north now. From what we're looking at right now, I'm not seeing any other storms trying to form at the moment. I don't know if they will form. Hang on, let me just switch it over here. Oops. Let me switch it over here. So. Yes, Frank just told me. Tornado and baseball size hail now warned for this storm that is, I said it was really taken off, that is heading toward, looks like it's making that turn and going further south now. So maybe you guys, if you really want to have a big storm happen in the Texas area today and we don't see anything else go on, root for this bad boy to make a really hard turn and get down to Waco in a couple hours here. Otherwise, right now, looking around, I don't see any indication of anything to fire up in this area. Even knowing that's what we were, the models were showing all day, on and off, stuff firing up here, and then slowly working its way down. And it kind of just agreed on right here all the way up until initiation, and now we're south. It fired significantly farther south. You can see if I roll this back, down by Hyco, that is significantly farther south than what anything was being shown. And then now the storm has really taken off. So that's what we're looking at right now. So in terms of the Metroplex itself, Tarrant and Dallas counties, I'm not saying the all clear or anything. I'm just saying right now might be another one of those. The storm happened. It happened a little too far to the south. And right now I don't see anything indicating that anything in the very near term is going to happen. Ooh, baseball report just popped in on that storm. So this storm is really going to town. I'm going to pop back in on it and check it out from there. Oh, okay. Camera makes some weird noises every once in a while. Hang on. Let me bring. Okay, my battery died, guys. I'm going to change that really fast. I'll switch to the between broadcasts thing with a little bit of music playing, and we will be back in just a second while I replace the battery. Okay guys, new battery, so I should be good for a little while here. Alright, so while we were in our little in-between phase here, we're going to zoom in. We had a baseball report come in on this storm that it was reported at Canyons, 5 miles south of Lakeside Village. As we were looking at that storm, we saw that it really was taking off. We got the baseballs and the storm is turning. We'll see if it can make a really hard turn and make it all the way down to Waco, or if it's going to continue on its path like that. If it makes it like that, then it obviously won't hit too much. And in the interim, we had a baseball report come in Caldwell at the sheriff's office in Caldwell, and this storm is still continuing to move on to College Station. So my initial gut feeling was correct, and I just kind of backpedaled, as it happens sometimes. That quarter report comes in, and there's a series of quarter reports, and you're like, well, maybe. No, it was baseballs. Baseball size hail. So both of the two big storms ongoing right now, both are dropping baseball size hail. We're going to now look more into, let's see, hang on, I gotta change back to analyst here, and we're gonna look more into these storms, show you guys what radar am I on? On Austin's radar, okay. And we can see, when we go back here and call, this storm was a pretty big monster here as it moved through. Again, all the greens and the blues indicating upwards of baseball size hail as it hit Caldwell. And now it's not dropping as big of a hail, probably more towards the golf ball 2-inch size range. And it's continuing to move closer and closer and closer to College Station. And they rewarned this for baseball size hail, the very dangerous storm warning. And this is moving towards College Station, so we'll be watching this as it happens. And just behind it, we got another storm trying to form up and get going here over by Lexington. This looks like it'll kind of consolidate and try to squish together a little bit more and figure out exactly what's going to happen in that. Broadcast interrupted again. Come on, guys. And yeah, so that's what we're watching here. I think if this storm can continue going, I'm going to load the road files for Brazos County really fast. And 41, okay. Oops, that's not what I wanted. I'll load the roads so that way when we get closer to College Station, we can actually get down to street level here as the storms are moving closer to there. There we go. We got some roads to work with now. And it looks like we're heading right for College Station right now. You can see, so here's College Station right where my hand is, and you can see as the storm moving away from Caldwell, and it's lifting up to the north a little bit more. Now it might be weakening a little bit, but I don't see anything in there for it to continue its weakening that much. So I think it'll make it to College Station. We're just going to see how strong it'll be when it gets there. Again, it's moving pretty much right along my line right here. So it'll go directly into College Station. I'm not 100% sure where the college actually is located in College Station based off of a map, but a lot of people in this city, College Station, and if we get a pretty good storm move through here, we will obviously continue our coverage and talking to you guys about that. Storms are firing near Austin Bastrop. Anything looking to hit Alley soon? All right. So yes, we do it further to the west. People talking about Austin. The big storms, they are taking off just to the east of Austin. So you get thunder showers here in the Austin area. They're not doing too much until they get further to the east. We got a new warning now on that storm I was just mentioning a moment ago. Probably of what, quarter, $half size hail, $half size hail. And we're still watching this little storm by San Antonio. If this turns into something, I'll be very surprised. I was not expecting San Antonio today. But then again, the biggest storm in Texas history was in April of 2016. And it was here in San Antonio. And I can tell you, as someone who had to map the storm, we were not seeing that coming. Nobody was. So I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. Again, all right. I'm going to move back up towards the Dallas area. I'm going to see if this storm here to the south and west of Hillsboro is dropping anything of significance still. And The answer is yep. It is definitely, it is now starting to really get that look where it's going to start just like dropping tons and tons of massive hail. You got this big hook here. You see all the pink in the hook in here. There's rotation in the mid-levels right here in the middle of the storm. This is all pointing to a classic case of very high volumes of like baseball, softball size hail as the storm is now roaring to the south, the east-southeast, I'd want to say, if I can get more radar frames to load. So we want to keep this thing moving south. If we want Waco to get hit, it's got to keep continuing that turn, keep wrapping up and turning more and more to the south, and we can at least maybe squeak out a storm in Waco today. We got plenty of time. We got another hour before it can it'll get there if it does that turn, and yeah, you can really see. You can see the hail just like, you just watch the pink returns up in here. You see the hail starting to wrap around, and I bet if I look at it in 3D, oh man, I wish I could show you guys the 3D. It sucks. Oh wait, no, I think I can show you. Can I show you this guy's 3D? Let me. I bet if I do this, you guys can see the 3D. Heyo, got the 3D in there for you guys. All right, so you can see all this pink. That's the all the lofted hail. Let's see if I can get a better angle of this. Like so. So you have the. Here you go. So we see you have the radar returns down on the ground, and you have the storm. This is in 3 dimensions here, so I can kind of go around like that. And you can see the tilt of the storm in this. So we have the hail coming up and staying lofted thanks to the mid-level rotation. And so the middle part of the storm here is staying nice and lofted up, but the really big hail is going to be coming down like right out in front. So we have the pink over here where it's coming down on the ground. Some of the biggest hail is going to be just to the south of that, where it's coming out right out from the updraft. It's getting too big for the rotation, the updraft to hold it up, and it drops like right down, and that's where you get like really big hail. So there are probably only a few hailstones coming out there, but I bet there's some good 3 inchers coming out of this one right now as it keeps on its journey off to the south and to the east. So Laguna Park, you guys, yeah, okay. So if we move to right here, so we see right here there's a little red square. I'm sure you guys can't really see it too much, but look at how the CCs are not only green and blue, but they're bottoming out in here. That means they're really big hail in this. This is kind of similar to a much smaller scale version of the Wiley storm from a couple years back, where you had all this big hail kind of coming together a little bit in this section of the storm here, and it just really starts to come down pretty good. Okay. The elite control the weather. This guy's a robot. Man, I'm going to stay out of the comment section for a little while here. All right. Yeah, so this storm is, man, that thing is hauling. Yeah, we're moving pretty quick to the south and east. Are we gonna stay going east now? Yeah, this is like east-southeast, but you got that little curve. Yeah, so probably going east-southeast, trending more southeast. I don't know if it's going to make it all the way down to Waco, but I would not be surprised if it hit West or Ross even. I'm not sure how big those towns are. I'm just kind of spitballing names. It's going to go south of Hillsboro. Hillsboro, you're going to get rain, but you're not going to get the big-time hail that the storm is producing. Further north here, anything exciting going on? Not really. Ooh, what's this? Huh. It looks like something wants to form. Something wants to form over here. I just can't seem to tell if it's actually happening. All right. Can we please get some Austin hail? Yes. Can we get? Oh, we could get some Austin hail. All right. I'm going to move back down to the Austin area here. We're going to bring up this radar. Just give me a second to get this going. Let's see how close the storm is to College Station. This video is sponsored by Bing. Not really, though. All right, holy cow. All right, so this storm, in the time we've been looking, has very dramatically died off as it's now entering the College Station. That's disappointing. So we roll it back. We had baseball-sized hail in Caldwell, and now it is kind of falling apart as it's moving towards College Station. But Caldwell, I don't know how big of a town that is, but that town got blasted. So I know a lot of you guys went and worked Mount Pleasant if you're in the Dallas area. If you guys are Austin, I bet if you got on the road and you got over to Caldwell, again, I don't know how big the town is, but if you got over there, you could probably get some jobs out of that. Excuse me. All right, so this storm, okay, they're just warning. Man, they're just warning everything now. So we have this storm north of Rockdale. This one does not look that great. I'm pretty sure there's no severe hail in this one over here. Further to the south, we have probably the next big storm. This one is impacting Tanglewood. It looks like, pay attention to this down here. We have two storms merging together. Once they finish merging, I think this will be the next one that takes off. There seems to be something in this area that is just causing storms to go nuclear today. So I would not be surprised if that goes off and then continues off to the east. Okay, this storm over by Madisonville. I'm not sure how big of a hail it's fallen in this one. We're pretty far up in the atmosphere. We're getting farther away from the radar. But I think I might be still dropping some severe hail, upwards of quarter-size hail. And further to the west, looks like we have a line of developing storms here just west of Austin. We're gonna have to watch this stuff. I would not be surprised if something tried to get going in here. Wouldn't be shocked, mainly because we do have just storms developing in an area that wasn't expected to see storms today. So the environment is very favorable right now of continuing with the storms. Once the cap breaks, all hell can break loose, and that's kind of what's been going on. So again, watching this very carefully to the west of Austin has enough time for it to really take off if, say, it would be one of these cells if they were to get going. I'm not saying it will, but it's possible. All right. Okay. Okay, thumbing through here. All right, conversation. Caldwell population is 4,100. Thanks, Ryan Bradshaw. So about 4,000 people live in Caldwell, and they got blasted with a pretty good storm just now. So that's enough to get some jobs. I don't know about the income or anything in that town, but you heard it here first. Caldwell looks like a pretty good storm. You can get our map now. That's still being worked on. Let's see, we got some storms off to the east of San Antonio now too. Man, sun just really fired off today. All right. Oh yeah, that's right. So I got screen capture so you guys can just see everything I'm doing. All right, so got another quarter report some more quarter reports coming in as a storm in Whitney. And yeah, further north, I'm not really seeing much, guys. So I'm not 100% sure what is going to go on. If you're wondering, all these colors here is the Storm Prediction Center's forecast. And they were honing in on Dallas. They thought the severe hail was only going to be right in here, the really big time hail. And so far, 100% of it has been to the south of it. Has been a rough couple of days to be a forecaster if you're trying to forecast for the Dallas area, that's for sure. So, all right, continuing on here. All right, man, that stupid little storm. This friggin' little storm. If this actually gets going and moves through San Antonio, I'm just gonna say, you know what? Why not? I-35, Texas, all the way up and down from Mexico every time. Whatever. But yeah, I'm keeping an eye on it. It hasn't shown any signs of strengthening, but there will be some rain, thunder, lightning, maybe some pea-sized hail on the north sides of San Antonio in the next little while here. And let's see, elsewhere. I like that Lexington storm. I bet is going to strengthen up some more. Yeah, this one storm. Is this still one for baseball? It's not too much hail. Oh, you can see the warnings up now here too. Awesome. All right. Yeah, I might just do this from now on. Yeah. All right. So So that's really what we're looking at right now. Really, two main storms. We're starting to get kind of closer. Oh, that's one for tennis balls. All right, so we got up to tennis ball size hail apparently heading towards Madisonville. I don't know if that's actually how big the hail is or if that's just what the warning spat out, but there is a decent little hail core. I think I still have this radar up for over here. Yeah, just off to the south and west barely of Madisonville, and that is moving into town now. This storm still seems to be going. Doesn't look as great as it used to, but you know, I think it's re-strengthening. We got Huntsville down the pipeline a little bit on this one, so it's a ways away, and it might be a long shot, but it looks like this storm is starting to strengthen a little bit, and we have Huntsville, Texas, off to the east. Huntsville, we're starting to now get into the area of, if I just move my radar a little bit, you can see the massiveness of the Houston metro extending itself, fingering all the way up into here, and then we have Huntsville, which is a little further north of that. I know that's a decent little town. I think they got a decent hailstorm a couple years back, so hopefully we can get that to get a hit coming here in the next hour or so further off to the west. Let's see, is this storm by College Station? It's trying to reform itself just outside College Station. We'll see. Yeah, it doesn't look that great though. I think it's lost its inflow and inflow. So you need inflow to get the storm going. I think the inflow has been lost from this, and it's going over to that storm over there by Lexington, which the storm, they had a little storm merge with this, and I think, yeah, these storms are going to finish merging, and I think this one's really going to take off. And again, the next like 20 minutes or so.
Look up some pictures from Caldwell on Twitter.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, I'll look up some pictures. Okay, Frank told me to look up some pictures. He found Twitter had some good stuff going on. So we're going to log in to Hail Trace's Twitter real quick and see what we can find. Tweet at us, by the way. We have Twitter. We aren't super active on it, but if you guys start tweeting at us and stuff, we might really get that Twitter activity up a little bit more. Caldwell hail. Latest. Oh boy. Yeah, we're getting, here we go. Right off the bat here. Holy cow. That is a big hailstone. I'm not sure how big that person's hand actually is, but man, that is a big old hailstone. So they got blasted here. Big time storm. Golf ball to baseball size hail in Caldwell. You see a pretty high volumes. I mean, you can just see in the picture without me even, I mean, I'll bring it up bigger so you can see it full. Holy crap. Look at that. Man. Yeah, so that's, the town got blasted. So, yeah, not a huge town, but man, boy, yeah, there's some big hail that fell in here. Okay. Again, if you guys can go ahead and put comments in the comment section below. If you want me to go back and say things, if you're just joining in, feel free to speak up if you want me to go over something. I'm more than happy to repeat myself a million times for you guys. All right, other pictures. Here's another good picture here. Yeah. So it definitely wasn't one or two baseballs, and it looks like it was pretty hard because they're finding them. All the big white spiky hail usually is a pretty dense hailstone to do some damage here. And let's see, got any other pictures in here? Now we're just getting to the radar at that point. So yeah, man, boy, that's some big hail. Yeah, so that's just showing what these storms have. The atmosphere was really primed for big time hail today. We were, rooting for Dallas, but I guess we'll take a solid, what is this, like 100-something miles south of it. That's fine too. So, otherwise, let's see. Let's bring up the radar again. Yeah, the storm heading towards College Station. So the storm that was dropping the big hail that you guys just saw is no longer, it's not. There's no way it's making it to College Station with severe hail, unfortunately. Further to the east, we have this storm that I think might be strengthening a little bit here. I might have to open another GR Analyst so I can open up a different radar site to see this a little bit better. Madisonville's getting hit with some hail right now. size currently. Or how big is this town anyway? Looks like it's a pretty small town, Madisonville, Texas. And further off, sorry if this is kind of all over the place. And then Lexington. See, this storm looks like it's starting to, it's starting to take over and strengthen now. So there's still hope for College Station. We have another storm down the pipeline here. This one is really starting to take off, and we'll see if this one is the one that can make it all the way over to the city. Just joining in, where is all this hail? All right, John Salvador, all this hail is just to the east of Austin, Texas. And so between Austin, Texas, Austin, Texas is right here in the corner of the screen. We have in between where the storms are happening, here's College Station, here's Houston down to the south and east, and then to the east here is tree country, or whatever you guys call it in eastern Texas. And further to the north, we have a storm that had another report. We got quarter-size hail. This is from a farther away radar, so it's going to look a little cruddier. We have another storm that is heading in the general direction of West Texas and possibly Ross, Texas. We got the warning pushed over. Yeah. Is this moving east now? Yeah, probably West Texas. So just to the south of Hillsboro. And otherwise, got some storms. Man, they got this storm to the east of San Antonio that looks like it's starting to take off out of nowhere. We have this storm about to head into San Antonio that we've been watching carefully that looks like it's maintaining its weak status. I don't think it's going to make it into San Antonio with anything severe unless something changes drastically between right now and about 15 minutes from now. Some other showers to the north. Stuff west of Austin does not... well, some by Blanco seems to be kind of getting a little bit better organized. So again, we're watching stuff, weirdly enough, we're watching stuff close to Austin, Texas today. Wasn't really expecting that. I thought storms were going to be north of there. And, but you know, hey, it's the weather. This is what we do. We just adjust accordingly. All right, so now I got this other radar up here. So I can put both radars up at the same time for you guys. Let's pop on the Dallas radar so we can see the storm a little bit better in the Dallas area. All right, yeah, man, this thing is still dropping massive hail. If you guys are just joining in, you can see all these greens and blues. This thing was dropping definitely baseball size hail for a while back here over by Meridian, and is now continuing to definitely move on its journey of dropping upwards of baseball size hail, probably baseball size hail plus. I mean, if I zoom all the way in here, you can see the CCs go from the greens and blues to I can just see the map under it. And that means when you can see the map under the CCs, the radar returns, it's one of two things. A ton of giant hail or there's a damaging tornado on the ground. And there is no damaging tornado on the ground in this storm. So, very large hail. This quarter report, I'm willing to bet, probably was before the big hail came in and probably screwed up this person's car. And now we're heading closer and closer to West and Abbott, Texas. We're moving away from Hillsboro. Hillsboro's up here, right up here where my hand is, guys. And you see it's moving to the south and to the south of it, going southeast, probably right towards West Texas, the north of West Texas. And any other comments? Whoops, let me bring up the map. My video keeps freezing on you guys. So there we go. So the storm continues to power on here as we get closer to West Texas. Elsewhere, let me see on radar if anything else is going to fire. And oh, geez, okay. Update here. While I was doing stuff, we have something interesting. Never mind. I had a little thunder shower forming up in Dallas right now. This does not, unless something crazy happens in the next 10 minutes, that's not going to do anything crazy. Is that still the north split? Oh yeah, it is. That's still the north split from earlier. No hail in this one. Or no big hail anyway. There might be a little hail, but nothing of note. But otherwise, yeah, I'm not seeing anything firing, guys. I think this is the big show here to the south of Dallas. I don't think Dallas itself is going to see much today. This storm is a monster. This is why we were doing our forecast. We were kind of talking about upwards of baseball-sized hail. I knew whatever storm was going to form, just a matter of where it was. If a storm formed, which it did, it was going to drop monster hail. And that is exactly what's going on right now. So, what's that got going on? Another quarter report. I think 2 quarter reports on this one. All right, and it's continuing to move off to the south. And overview here. If I zoom out a little bit, you can see. Whoa, we got a storm all the way down here by like to the west of Corpus Christi. Storms for everybody in Texas today, except for Dallas, I guess. Yeah, this little storm. Look at that. I don't think there's a whole lot of people out in this area. It's by Ella, Texas, and it's gonna go south of Kingsville, and then eventually into the Gulf of Mexico. Look at that, man! There's storms firing all over the friggin' place. That's crazy. We got a new watch extended south. It goes from just to the east of Austin, Texas, to just to the east of San Antonio. So they're thinking that most of the good hail is going to be just staying just to the east of the I-35 corridor. And maybe, just maybe, we can squeeze out a couple storms here in the Houston area. And but that is quite a ways away. I don't know if that's going to happen today. And we continue to watch this, everything going on now, and that is what's happening right now. Okay, let's see any other questions anybody has. What time is hail projected to start in Georgia? Georgia probably tomorrow. That's all tomorrow. Okay, come on, bunch of BS. Athens, Tennessee. That's gonna be tomorrow. What indicates hail on radar? Okay, so let me pop up let me give you a good example here. So there's quite a few things that we look for when we're showing hail on radar. First off, we have our this is the hail marker. For those of you guys who use like the algorithm-based services, this is what the radar pumps out with its algorithm, what they think the maximum hail size is. This just kind of helps us in terms of just figuring out like how explosively strong the storm is. So we just have little diamonds, colored diamonds, so it's a really easy to see, like these filled in blue diamond. We're like, oh, okay, big time hail. We look for the radar returns, the DBZs as we call it, to be pink. And the big part is the correlation coefficient, which is here called the CC, as we use for short. This correlation coefficient is kind of a mouthful. When it's down in greens and blues and whatnot, that's the really big hail. We have a couple other things we look at as well. For example, this shows us what the primary object that's falling is, and this is showing it's mostly hail. And this is another product we use, the KDP. Shows how much melting is involved with the hail that's falling. And when it kind of bottoms out like this, that basically means it's just very large hail falling. So that's an idea of just basic overview of what we use to look for finding hail, and also, you know, pictures for ground truth help a ton as well. So I hope that answers your questions. Okay. All right, this storm is hooking quite a bit. Is it still rotating? It's not as much. I think the tornado threat for this one is probably pretty low, but it's turning a little bit more. I think the town of West Texas, I don't know how big West Texas is. If it's a little town, I think they're probably going to get hit, at least with some of it on the northern sides of this town, right along I-35. If you're driving on I-35, when this moves through, you're going to be in for a world of hurt in a little while here, with really big hail and probably some strong winds as well. In Dallas itself, you have a little thunder shower moving through the south sides of the city, and to the west, pretty much nothing. I don't think anything else is going to form in that area. going to move further south. Got this storm is heading towards the Georgetown area. Looks like it's strengthening a little bit. We'll keep an eye on this as we're getting closer and closer to the Austin metro. Yeah, this storm looks like it's strengthening, guys. We got a hail marker. It's getting bigger. The storm's getting a little bit better organized as this is moving towards Georgetown, Texas. This is a suburb to the north of Austin, Texas. Further to the south, we have, again, all these storms here, we're watching carefully in case any of them decide to do something crazy and go up a bunch more and showing hail that could get to severe limits. Again, Austin's a very populated city, so that's why we're talking about that. Further to the, okay. Thanks, Frank. Okay, so this storm decided to strengthen a little bit as we move into College Station here. Frank, in the other room, mapping storms, was able to tell me. Wow, and they are kind of lazy with their warning right now. It has a history of producing softballs. We saw that in the pictures on Twitter. If you guys are just joining, we looked up Caldwell hail, and that had very large hail, upwards close to probably, I mean, it was the size of the person's hand, probably close to softball size. And right now, looking at this, it's in the process of strengthening right now, just on the west sides of the town. I don't think it's dropping up to golf ball size hail yet, but I think we could be in the vicinity of some severe hail, and severe hit limits is 1 inch or larger, and this will be moving right into probably the middle of College Station in the next couple minutes here. So this is what's happening right now. The hail will be right in this area, right along, what highway is this? Highway 47, and I think this storm is trying to do a last second little strengthening here in the College Station area. And man, this storm further to the west, I think Caldwell might get it again. We got another monster trying to take off. These two storms came together, and now they're turning into one big time storm off to the west. And I think that this storm is what made the one that's heading into College Station right now weaken for so long. So yeah, we're gonna wait for the next radar frame to update, and we'll see if this strengthened just enough to squeeze out some golf ball size hail. Right now, I think probably only quarter, maybe $half size hail right now that's falling currently, and we'll kind of see what happens next. The storm looks kind of messy, and I think it's trying to do a last second, gas Hail Mary that throws a couple of decent hailstones here as we move into College Station. Let's see. Elsewhere, maybe Houston can get some into the action too. That'd be cool. Further north, our 2-inch report. Wall cloud. Sorry, I'm just trying to look around everything as it's ongoing. So, okay. Houston will get hail too. Nothing direct for College Station. So right now, this is current in College Station. Is literally going to come down to this next radar frame, next radar update. We get them every couple minutes, or every 5 minutes apparently from the Austin radar site. So 5 minutes from now, we'll see what had been going on at the moment. But I don't think it's anything like what happened in Caldwell, that crazy big hail of baseball, softball size. I think it's going to be much more close to the marginal severe limits of quarter to $half size hail. But if things go crazy in the next little while here, probably we could get something more than that. Okay. This storm further to the east here, we're watching to head towards Huntsville. I may have to switch radars in a little bit to watch as this moves east, and this still has a hail core in it, and Huntsville is right in its line of sight. So again, we'll have to watch that very carefully. And how about the prediction for tomorrow in Central Tennessee and Northern Alabama? For Tennessee and Alabama, I don't have anything prepared right now for tomorrow. Just a big quick summary is basically that Alabama, I think, especially Northern Alabama, from Birmingham to the border with Tennessee, you guys are probably going to be the bullseye for some serious storms. We're calling it a loaded gun setup. Everything is looking like that potential for a pretty classic Alabama Deep South Dixie Alley type setup where you get a bunch of supercells to form in the afternoon and have very large hail possibly accompanying that as well, up to baseball size, probably anytime after maybe noon on Monday. Tennessee is a different story. That's going to come down to tomorrow morning, what we're going to see. Where is the center of energy located? If it's located where a couple models are saying, then places like Nashville could see some big time hail. But if it's further to south, then Nashville won't see anything. And Nashville's a pretty big city, so that's obviously an area that we're going to have to watch extremely carefully, and we'll have an update for that in the morning. Atlanta's another story as well of, can the warmer air make it to the city, or is it going to kind of stay shunted off to the west? And if that's the case, then obviously Atlanta is going to be out of play for tomorrow as well. So that's what we're thinking for tomorrow right now. We'll have a full forecast for that in the morning tomorrow. Let's see here. All right, so of course we don't even have. Oh, we lost all our markers, guys. What happened? But in this frame here, right at the intersection of Farm Road 2818 and West Villa Marie Road, you're getting hit with some hail, probably ranging in sizes from pea size up to quarter, $half size hail in College Station. Further to the west, the storm over by Lexington, I think it's still trying to really get itself more organized. What's this over here? Further to the south, the east of San Antonio, we have one storm over Gonzales, and by Harwood that just did a split. So we have a north split that's heading up probably towards Bastrop, and this stuff will generally head in the direction of Houston with many hours to go. So if anyone is in the Houston area hoping Houston will get hit, it's gonna be a little while. All the storm activities back here, none of this is moving towards Houston. This is all moving this way, and this is moving this way. So there's going to be quite a few hours in between right here, and it's a big question mark of how well will these storms maintain themselves after the sun goes down. If they can keep going, then hey, more power to them, and we'll be here. You can cover storms in Houston if we have to, but right now I'm keeping Houston's chances pretty low. I don't think these are going to make it that far, so again, we'll have to kind of see what happens. Okay, all right, we have. All right, this is interesting. Notice how here. Okay, so right now the storm. We gotta watch this. We gotta watch this pretty carefully. I feel like David Payne on News 9 right now. If you guys in Oklahoma City, you know who I'm talking about. But this storm right here, I've been keeping an eye on it. Been getting a little more organized. And the thing that really gets my interest right now is the hail signature is jutting out way in front of the storm. So that means there's a lot of lift going on in the atmosphere right now. It's very possible this storm is taking off so much that it's causing the radar to indicate the hail marker, but there isn't any rain falling yet. The cloud is just exploding north. I'm willing to bet. Let me just do something real quick here. Yeah, so I'm tilting the radar up. So say right now you have it going out like this. The radar goes and takes it all on like an angle like that. So I'm angling it up. Whoops, too much. I angled too high. But when I angle up, you can see the cloud tops are moving forward, and I can go back down. I'm gonna 3D this even. You can see, yeah, look at that. It's shooting it way out in front of the storm here. You guys can see. So you have all this hail building up. So this storm is exploding right now, and it's heading towards the general northern suburbs of the Austin area. So Georgetown and Round Rock and stuff, heading generally that way. So we have to watch this super carefully. And thankfully, Frank is within earshot of me. So he's just in the other room, doors open and everything, so he can hear everything I'm saying. So he's also aware of this. So don't worry, guys. The maps will be continuing. No problems. And yeah, we've got a little pink core on this now and everything. Yeah, we're gonna have to watch this. North sides of the Austin area could see some activity pretty soon here. Again, we were watching that all these little showers off to the west of Austin as they move towards the city and the general metro area, watching to see if anything exciting was going to happen with them. And right now, it's possible. It's possible with this little bad boy over here. So, but in the meantime, off further to the east. Oh crap, College Station. Sorry guys, forgot about this. Let's strengthen a little bit right now. We got some hail. There's hail falling in College Station right now. I am not 100% certain if it is. It's getting bigger. So it's getting bigger on the city. So this is going to be kind of a hard call. But right now, I'm inching up closer, $50 size hail. And if this next radar frame looks better, then possibly even closer, golf ball size hail. But I think quarter half dollar size hail for sure, possibly in like downtown or just the dead center of College Station right now. Further off to the east. Okay, got a whole. Let me switch radars to the Dallas radar. More wall clouds. This big time storm is getting closer and closer to West Texas right now. I'm going to bring up the county so I can get the roads on this. 309. I'll just bear with me a second here, guys, while I... Usually this is behind the scenes, but since I'm just doing a screen capture, you get to see all the nitty-gritty of how I get the roads on here. Let's see. Scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. 309. Bam. Okay, so West, oh wow, West is a tiny little town. So I think Abbott's probably a better shot here in Hill County. As the storm continues, it doesn't look as great as it did before. Oh man, a whole bunch of 2-inch reports coming in too. And now we're moving to Abbott, so I think the hook of the storm, so this is the hook of the storm right here, I think this will swing through West, and I think it's going to be more wind than hail in this, as this starts to kind of fall apart a little bit. And then meanwhile, rest of the Dallas area, I'm not seeing anything. I think this storm here was the big story for the Dallas area. It ended up being much farther south than originally modeled, and now it's moving off to the south and east very fast. It looks like it's starting to weaken a little bit as well. So I think focus might be shifting away from the Dallas area and possibly down towards the Austin area, as we got a couple storms happening over there. Okay. So yeah, Barrett, Dallas might be done. What time is it right now? 6 o'clock. We could squeeze one out maybe in the next hour or so, but I'm not looking at satellite or anything or any observations. I'm just looking at radar if things are ongoing, and from just what I'm viewing ongoing, I don't see anything trying to fire up at all. Yeah, so I think Dallas-Fort Worth managed to dodge yet another bullet, albeit a bullet that they didn't realize they had to dodge until like this morning. So, all right. Okay. Okay, thumbing up here. Is Houston going to be clear tonight or what? We're going to have to kind of wait and see, honestly. We're going to see if storms can make it all the way to Houston. Right now, I don't think that's going to happen, but anything is possible. Okay, I'm going to switch back over to the Austin radar site now, guys. All right, marker's getting bigger. Storm's getting closer. I'm going to load some road files so we can see what's going on here in Travis County and Williamson County. And we can find out together what's going to happen across. Here, let me move this out of the way. Yeah, this storm's strengthening. It's going to get severe warning probably pretty soon here. 491. Whoops. .491 and Travis County is number 453. Ooh, that took a hot minute. Okay, so here we go. We have the storm here. It's not severe warned yet. We're gonna see a warning pretty soon, though. We're organizing real fast, and we're very close to population in Round Rock here. So I'm going to actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to change my little ticker real quick. Whoops, no, I don't want to do that. Of storms heading into the Austin area. Yeah, you guys get to see all kinds of behind the scenes stuff today. Here we go. So those of you just joining, this is what we're talking about. This is the storm we're talking about. Again, I think that we're going to see a severe thunderstorm warning in this fairly soon, next frame or so. CCs are starting to lower. Storm has really been exploding. The echo tops have been going crazy. All these storms down here today have really kind of exploded like very fast. So we were talking about this a little earlier, just kind of watching as these storms are moving in. Okay, we have another storm trying to go up here too by Lakeway and Briarcliff. This one not as strong, but I think it's trying. Yeah, this is the one. This is the one we're looking at here. This is the north sides of the Austin area. It's moving more south, so south and east down towards Round Rock. Okay. All right, I'm going to move further to the east. Okay, College Station. Let's look at, oh, okay. I think the College Station area on the south eastern sides of town. Let me move out of the way. Notice how things are looking a little bit better here. Yeah, I bet we're probably seeing. Okay, so they got 0.75 report that came in. One southeast of Bryan, so that's over there. So in College Station itself, I think right now we're probably seeing ping pong ball, maybe golf ball size hail. If it is, it's kind of isolated. I don't know if it got going fast enough here for us to see some good golf ball size hail, but that's kind of what I'm looking at right now. Boy, it still looks pretty good though. We'll try to look for some pictures for this a little bit too, but I think right now, based on, let's see what it looks like right in here. If it does drop golf balls, I think it's going to be in the far eastern, southeastern sections of College Station. I think quarter, $half size hail primarily for the rest of it. Oop, got a little lowering in okay, so this north, okay, elsewhere we have this nice north split to the east of San Antonio. This storm is going bonkers too, and that's going northeast. There is not a lot of people in this area, so this is a pretty rural area. It's going to stay, let's see, Bastrop is right there. I'm going to zoom out and you can see it's going to stay to the east of them, maybe hit this town of Smithville. I don't know how big that is. And yeah, man, what is this? They got a warning for baseballs. Whoa, what? Hang on. Oh, it's just warned for baseballs. So I'm kind of the one in College Station. They updated the warning, and nah, there's no way, man. Section hail measuring between 2.5 and 3 inches are being measured around the Bryan College Station area. So it says radar indicated. So this is a case of what's going on right now. Way further south than you thought, but we'll take it. Yeah, that's kind of that's what we're saying. Is this stupid little storm heading into San Antonio starting to get its act together? We got a tennis ball report further north by as the storm is crossing I-35 now. Anyway, yeah, just one last check-in on this one. It is weakening quite a bit now. It's crossed I-35, and now we're probably seeing only some maybe leftover ping pong ball size hail, quarter size hail. Elsewhere, cross Dallas Metroplex, again, not really much of anything. I don't see anything trying to fire up in there. A lot of the activities further south right now here in College Station. The southeast side of College Station here, I think you're getting right in here, you're getting hit with hail of a size. Probably, my guess was ping pong ball to my camera died? No, okay. Ping pong ball to maybe. Oh, we got a report. What's this? Okay, yeah. So we got ping pong ball report from right there. Are you serious? Holy crap! Ping pong ball. Make Heather do it. Wait. Or just send the one. Okay, so we got ping ball. Sorry, I'm doing two things at once, guys. So we got a ping pong ball report right at this location here. That's surprising. So ping pong ball, a golf ball size hail, I think, is falling right now. It is warned for baseballs, which is, unless there's something the National Weather Service knows that I don't know, that is very impressive. And now we also have this storm heading towards Huntsville that I probably should not forget about. that one, yeah, they're just warning everything for baseballs. This one looks like it's probably dropping pretty big hail as well. Elsewhere, we got golf ball report coming in on this north split as it's rocketing north. How's the storm looking here? Is it now not looking as great? Okay, so this storm is now, so you can see here, we're moving into Round Rock. This storm is kind of sucking in. You can even see it. So you have this little thunderstorm right in here, and you can kind of see it getting sucked into the inflow. And I think that's weakening this storm right now as it's getting closer, getting into Round Rock, Texas right now. I think that might be why they're holding off on warning it. But we also have this storm moving into Briarcliff that looks like it's also trying to strengthen as well. So again, we're teetering on the line of getting some severe limits hail as it's moving into Austin. And then we can't discount. Okay, so we have this storm. So we got this storm going. This storm split, and it's moving towards the storm that's trying to strengthen by Briarcliff. So I do not know if that is going to actually be able to strengthen with this north split kind of heading right at it. But we'll see. The big question is, can this storm recover from starting to suck up this other little one? If it can, and quickly enough, then we have all Round Rock to get through and into Pflugerville as well before this happens. So this might be a case of the storm just kind of forms and strengthens over population, and those sometimes can get a little dicey. So sitting here in Pflugerville waiting on it, said Keith Bailey. All right, Keith, hey man, just let us know what you get hit with, if you get hit with anything at all. We'd love to hear some feedback, just get that ground truth as storms are happening. All right. Anything else from College Station? Any other reports? As is always the nerve-wracking time at the moment. Just kind of balancing a bunch of other stuff going on at once. Okay, so the storm that moved through up here further to north, this is weakening. We got a new warning on it, but it is weakening. I'm willing to bet their warning has maybe $half size sale. Tennis balls, still saying tennis balls. Well, I'm guessing the tennis balls is starting to, it looks nowhere near. So this is what it looks like right now. We go back a little ways. Tennis balls were falling here, and you can see it looks much better, especially right down in here. And we move forward to it. Now, if I move the radar back over, we see significantly less. The hail is really starting to fall out. The storm's starting to really fall apart. Is it gonna split? No. And that's all. I think that's all she wrote for the Dallas area. Again, unless something crazy happens the next hour or two, I think Dallas might not see much today. It's going all to the south of you guys. Quite a few little wall clouds. Of course, a lot of chasers on that storm. A lot of people went out chasing today. All right, I need to change radars for this storm that's heading towards Huntsville. I'm kind of far up, and this one is very close to Huntsville and might be dropping big hail, so I gotta look at that. Storm right now is heading to Round Rock. It doesn't look as good as it did before. Neither does this one near Briarcliff. So yeah, we got a couple storms moving into the Austin area, And the question is, can they strengthen enough to go severe while they're in the city? We're very, very close to the city right now, so we're going to be watching this. All eyes on this, and a whole bunch of other things going on too. A lot more storms going on today than we expect. Okay. All right, San Antonio also looks kind of interesting as well. Okay, I got to make some hard decisions here for my radars. I'm going to get out of the Dallas radar for now. That storm is pretty much dying off and not hitting many people, not as interesting. But I'm bringing up the, holy cow. All right, yeah, I'm bringing up the Houston radar to look at this storm by Huntsville. That looks like it is kind of a monster. Oh, man, it's still far away from the radar here. Ugh, the worst. Hate radar holes. All right, move into Walker County and get the roads up on this bad boy here. 71. So we can get a little into more of the nitty gritty on this one. Okay, Huntsville, I believe in our push notification service is a push notification city, so I think they have at least 10,000. I remember a storm happening here before, so it's the main reason. Well, we're moving into the outskirts of Huntsville on the north and west sides of town. And man, this thing looks like a friggin' monster. This is Huntsville, north of Houston. That little texting city. I think it's a texting city. Yeah, Derek just got to the office. If he wants to pop in. Nah, I think he's busy.
You want me to take over for a minute? You want to take a break?
I mean, I think I'm doing okay for a moment. Yeah. Sorry, Derek just walked into the office a second here, so we're just kind of seeing what's going on, kind of regrouping. And the storm by Huntsville, it might just go just barely to the north of you guys. So north sides of Huntsville, I think you're getting hit with big hail though, or at least a lot of hail. One of the two. It's a little far from the radar, so it's not going to look as good. The CC values are only kind of useful if we're under 5,000 feet, and this thing's picking up at like 7,500. So it's a little tougher, but just looking at how the storm's structured, how it's looking on other aspects of the radar, I think we're seeing some big time hail right along, what highway is this? I-45 and State Highway 75. I think you guys are getting blasted right now, some big time hail. And this is on the far northwestern sides of Huntsville, Texas. All right, so switching back to western Texas here. Okay, stuff in, it looks like the storm by Round Rock is not gonna be able to survive. Yeah, it's not, maybe it is. I keep wanting to call it off, but it doesn't look too bad. Actually, honestly, Briarcliff storm might be coming in clutch here. It is saying forget your north split, and it's killing that storm, and it's really starting to take over here. I'm gonna actually bring it up in 3D to kind of take a look at it. Okay, let's see here. Are we collapsing or are we going? Are we gonna be in business here? Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to watch this carefully. It's looking a lot better organized. There's nothing killing it right now. It's got that nice crisp underside here. The big question is, can it just strengthen a little bit? This would be moving directly into Austin. If this strengthens even at all and gets severe, it'll move into Austin very soon. We're in, I think there's some lake up here. I've only been to Austin a couple times, both of which have been for music festivals and stuff, so I've never really been out in the outskirts of this area. I believe there's a big lake here with a lot of big time houses, but there's no hail in this yet, no big hail anyway, but you can't deny this structure of this storm. So I think I'm keeping on that for sure. Storm closer to San Antonio might also be trying to do something as well. Boy, oh boy. Yeah, this little storm by San Antonio continues to just kind of chug along here. It looks like it's trying to strengthen a little bit. I don't know if it's going to strengthen just enough in time for San Antonio to see any big hail, but I'm willing to bet you're going to see some half-inch nickel size hail in that storm. But any bigger hail than that, I don't think there's going to be any of which going on. Storm up by the Dallas area is dying out now. I think it won't even make, I bet it'll die out before it crosses I-45 here. So that's really starting to die out. And biggest storm that's currently happening in terms of hail falling right now is just on, probably on the north sides of Huntsville here. Man, yeah, this is a monster. Who knows how long this thing will go for. Got this nice little wrap around here, but a lot of good rotation. So a big thing to note too of what, how I mentioned the CCs have a hard time picking up when you're over 5,000 feet, picking up on the radar. Well, all these greens and blues in this straight line, this is backscattering from the big hail. So that means all this big hail is falling here. It's just we're too high up on the radar to really see it. But you look here, you can see the backscattering. So there's big hail falling. I mean, God, just look at the reflectivity returns on that. North side, so let me zoom right in. So it's like the north sides of Huntsville right here. I'm sure they're getting blasted with pretty big hail, probably upwards in the ranges of tennis ball size hail up to baseball size hail, kind of keeping the theme of the storms that have been going on today. Usually when storms like this happen all in one general area, you can get a pretty good idea of how they're performing during the day. And this thing is a monster. So again, north sides of Huntsville, north of whatever road this is, God, come on. What's this, Highway 190? Yeah, Highway 190, north of there. You guys are getting blasted in Huntsville, Texas right now. And this is a town that's to the north of the Houston area quite a bit. It's like 2 counties north, so it's in Walker County. So if you guys work the Houston area, if you're willing to drive a little bit, I think they're getting a pretty good storm right now. Derek hates spell check. Hitting in cow pastures more than any place. Yeah, that storm in the Dallas area is not hitting many people at all. Okay, let me move over back to Central Texas. Got this north split taken. All right, so next radar frame happened, and I think our dreams in the Austin area are starting to fall apart here. Storm looked good, and now it's not looking as good. So we may not ever get severe on any of these storms, which is disappointing. Or what'll happen is it'll move just east of Austin, and then it'll like blow up, because that seems to be what's going on so far today. But there was a period here. That one really looked like it was going to do something, and just kind of got sucked in by the other storm and dropped some penny. What we got? Dime to nickel size hail, but no big hail with that one. And this storm might just not get the job done. Did my battery die? All right, yeah, my battery died. Okay, guys, so since my battery has died, I'm going to transition to the music for a minute, and then I'm back on here. All right, hey guys, sorry about that. My camera. Oh, actually, Derek, can you come change the zoom real quick? Yeah, a little too much. Sorry about that. My camera battery died. Next one's probably gonna die. Is right there's good. Cool. We're on. We should be good. Yeah. Oh, you're gonna have to turn it a little bit too. Just turn it a little bit to the right. Just so the computer is more on the corner. Yeah, that's fine. I guess the job done. Okay. Anyway, hey guys. So, battery died. Had to replace the battery. It got kind of stuck in the camera, so it took a minute. But we're back. We're here. We're talking, and we're gonna continue on. We're gonna keep talking about the storms that are happening right now. So we finally got a report on this little baby storm in North San Antonio. Got pea-sized report. Again, I figured it was going to be small hail, and it was very small hail, and the storm's kind of dying out. Elsewhere, we have this one storm way down here in far south Texas. Not hitting a whole lot, just kind of moving closer and closer to the Gulf of Mexico, and that'll become no one's concern pretty soon. Further to the north, big thing of note here, we have a 3-inch report that came in College Station. Now, Frank did some research as he was mapping the storm, and it was much more a 2-inch hailstone with a nice little inch-long spike to make it a 3-inch hailstone. So I think really it was golf ball to 2-inch size hail. That's mapped on our swath as a red swath. Again, this is all available. I believe it's all going to be one map for just Texas for the day, and it'll be a star-sized hail map, probably a 4-star if I were to venture a guess, just based on stuff getting hit right now. And further to the north, we have this storm that is slowly dying out south of Texas in the the Hubbard area. This one, it looks like it's starting to kind of die. It's warned for 2-inch hail still, but I think it's just slowly falling apart. Elsewhere, they pulled away the watch from the Fort Worth area, so I think Dallas, Fort Worth, proper Tarrant, and Dallas counties, I think you guys are probably not going to really see anything out of today. It turns out the main risk ended up being shifted south a couple hundred miles, which, yeah, who knew that was going to happen today. And the big story right now is this big storm in Huntsville. We already have a golf ball report there. I'm going to bring up the radar for that, and this thing was a monster as it moved through the north sides of Huntsville. A golf ball report came in. Again, I'm expecting most likely upwards of a baseball report will come in on this storm at some point a little bit later. If no report comes in, chances are we'll see a picture of some really big hail with this storm. This is a monster storm. In terms of the CCs and why it isn't all bottomed out like the other storms, it's kind of far away from the radar. So you're not seeing anything on here, but you see the spiking off to the distance, showing that there was large hail in this storm as it's continuing to just, man, God, I think it's just dropping tons and tons of hail on, I don't know if this is still parts of Huntsville or if it's parts of Riverside, but in this area here, some big time hail. Okay. All right, I'm here on I-35 Kelly Road, across the road, went north of Round Rock. Oh, there you go, Derek. All right. Yeah, the storm in the Austin area is unfortunately dying out. We're waiting for it to take off, but yeah, we got another 0.7 nickel-size hail. Didn't quite make it, and this storm here is not. It keeps wanting to tease me a little bit with a potential strengthening. But I'm going to keep watching it, mainly because we are doing this continuing coverage. But right now, I don't see anything to indicate that this thing is strengthening right now. Let me look. Well, Echo Tops just went up a bunch on that last frame. Let's look in 3D here. I'm doing a little, the Echo Tops of it. The top of the storm is getting bigger. I know this might be a little hard for you. Ooh, crap. There we go. This might be a little hard for you guys to see. The colors on here on the stream. But you can see, okay, there we go. You can kind of see. So look at the oranges on the screen right here. And that was a frame ago. This is now. You see it pumping up. I think the storm, that usually means when it does that, the storm is starting to strengthen. It's towering back up again. So we'll see if this actually does anything. I haven't completely written it off yet, but at the same time, I don't have a ton of faith in it right now. And with all these other storms going on that are currently severe, I don't want to focus too much energy on something that might happen versus something that's currently happening. Further to the south, again, this storm that was over by San Antonio, this has since really died out, and it never really got to severe limits anyway. It was just interesting to see it slowly but surely make its way to San Antonio. We have this north split, a very nice looking north split storm. So when a storm splits north, it'll do a mirror image of what a supercell thunderstorm looks like. So usually you see the curve like this, that nice little sharp cutoff down like this. So it's like a mirror image. And if tornadoes come on this, those are anti-cyclonic tornadoes. So instead of going counterclockwise, they go clockwise. No tornado on this storm though, just some large hail. Marker's pretty low. It only says that there's, let's see what we hear, up to 1 inch hail on it. But north split storms are pretty notorious, dropping hail significantly larger than what the marker says. You see the CC is significantly lower down to the greens and the blues in here. And I switched to a couple other things, and you can, yeah, there's definitely some bigger hail, and that kind of comes in with up to golf ball size hail with this storm as it is moving towards Smithville, Texas, and eventually Giddings, Texas. Pretty, I think these are pretty rural areas. Again, I don't know this section of Texas very well, so that's what we're looking at there. Further to the east, we had all the reports coming in from College Station. This, again, this 1 3-inch report, we're thinking based on, I think, I'm pretty sure Frank found the picture for that accompanied this report. Right, Frank? Yeah. Okay, yeah, it was
I increased our red swath to 2.5-inch hail.
So it was about tennis ball size-ish?
I found another picture of someone holding about a tennis ball size piece of hail, but that 3-inch report was mainly spiky.
Okay, so it was like a 2-incher with like a spike.
2.5 with a spike coming off.
Okay, yeah. So sometimes with reports like this, you get a big time report, and you're like, okay, and you can go. We usually can go and find the picture. People will go on Twitter and or they'll send it to the National Weather Service office, and it'll be measured. And yes, it'll technically be measured as a 3-inch hailstone, but it's really like a tennis ball with a spike on it. But as Frank said, he had found more pictures of upwards of tennis ball size hail. So up to tennis ball size hail fell in the College Station area. So again, that is on our map, and College Station is a pretty big town. So that, here we go, that was the storm. So it strengthened it had to have happened just like right in there. And that strengthened just in time to drop some big hail. I was kind of flip-flopping on how big that hail was going to be. And lo and behold, it ended up being even bigger than expectations. And finally, I'm going to switch back over to the Houston radar. This monster storm now to the east of Huntsville, and I think this gets pretty rural pretty quickly here once we get past Dodge. Yeah, there's a lake over here. They'll probably go north of this town. Well, you'll either go north of this town of Livingston or it'll move right into them. We'll have to watch that as well. And eventually, this thing is just gonna keep on trucking here. Eventually probably into Louisiana with the way this thing's going. Okay. All right. And what else we got going on here? Well, another storm looks like it's taking off south of College Station now. And maybe we can get this one to make a nice turn right. And then, lo and behold, we can get some storms in Houston. But for those of you asking about Houston, you can see the storms are slowly but surely creeping their way closer and closer and closer. I don't know if they're going to make it, but we're watching it nonetheless as this evening wears on, and our focus went from DFW to places much further to the south and to the east and west. So, you know, this what happens sometimes. We just roll with the punches here. Okay, we got a little marker now, another hail marker on this storm as they're heading towards Austin, and you see it kind of made a little curve like that. Everything else is dying out. Is this little bad boy trying to strengthen? Let's see here. Okay. Yeah, this thing's still strengthening, guys. Whoops. Oh, I did not mean to do that. Yeah, so This is over by the Austin area. Again, this is sub-severe right now, but it looks like the storm is trying its best to organize. So maybe we can squeeze something out. And with just the way this environment seems to be, I don't think it's going to be anything like incredible, no really big hail. But if we can, in the next few minutes, see if we can get this to strengthen a little bit more, we could get up to borderline severe limits. Again, right now, sub-severe storm, but we're getting into Austin. So if it strengthens, it's going to strengthen over people, and that is something we have to watch very carefully. Let's see, the north split's continuing on. A lot of these storms are not a big deal unless they can make it to Houston, but that's a very far distance to go. North split's going north and we'll probably miss really any kind of people. Pretty good storm here south of College Station now, over by Wellborn and Wilcox. This is moving east, southeast, eventually towards Navasota, I want to say. That town over there to the south of College Station. I remember that on its way on the way to Houston one time. It's warned for 2-inch hail. Not surprised we have that going on. We have hail in Denver. Whoa. What? We have what? Oh, you guys got a little thunder shower, a little thunderstorm in Denver. Whoever posted that, Roberto, scared the hell out of me just now. Scared the hell out of me. The storms, a couple of thunder showers in Denver, no big deal on that one. Ping pong ball report came in for that north split storm. These storms here are all sub-severe right now. Monster storm to the east of Huntsville, storm pretty strong to right around Wilcox, just to the south of College Station. And watching this storm, how much more lightning we get? We get some more lightning strikes here on the storm, trying to organize itself over Austin, and further to north, this storm to the south of the Dallas Metroplex now, the one that the models have been showing all day, going through the Dallas area and then forming about 50, 60 miles to the south. This one is now starting to become a non-issue as it starts to move off to the south and east. I think part of the reason is not because it's getting out of a good environment, but because all the good environment's now much further south of these big storms, kind of surrounding the Houston area. This storm is getting cut off from its good moisture, so it's going to die off, and that also kills off pretty much any chances in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex for the remainder of today. And well, we're getting good storms in Texas nonetheless, just in different areas of the state. So can't really complain too much about that. All right. So let's see here, another update. All right, yeah, this storm. Can we get this storm to go in Austin? I know there's quite a few of you guys who would be very delighted to see this strengthen and take off in the next couple minutes here. And let's stay on for what you didn't notice. Just so everyone knows, it's still sunny in DFW. Yes, Alan. San Antonio hail. I think San Antonio's not going to really see much out of this. Your best bet would have been that little thunder shower that moved through the north sides of the city not too long ago, and it is weakening quickly and falling apart. I think San Antonio you had a brief moment where it could have happened, and then it just didn't really occur. It was too wasn't strong enough. Getting some red returns on here now. Storm. It's kind of collapsing on itself now. I don't know if this thing is going to strengthen anymore, guys. It wants to. But I would think all the storms that were happening across the Austin area and just the east, all these big storms might have sapped a lot of the energy from this storm to actually become anything big. But again, I wouldn't be surprised to see a couple more nickel reports popping in on this storm over by Austin. This storm here, this north split, looks like it's strengthening a lot more. I think it's dropping more than ping pong balls. And what else we got going on here? Yeah, Wellborn, Texas. You guys are seeing some decent hail right now. We do have hail. Yes, we did. So said Ortiz. Yes. Eric Roque Ortiz. We have hail in San Antonio right now. Send pics. Okay, yeah, send us pictures. Let's see how big that hail got in the San Antonio area. All right. Where else? What else we got going on here? 0.75 report. Hail range from Don Nickel, possibly some quarter-sized stones. Probably right along that hook there. Biggest hail is probably up in here. Okay. All right. I'm going to sit on the overview. And most part, okay, things are starting to quiet down a little bit just in terms of where people are located, especially with the storm over by Austin not really doing much. I think we may be getting closer here to me taking a little bit of a break from doing this live stream. And okay. Okay, sorry, I'm looking through comments at the same time. I think I may wrap up this live stream fairly soon, just because I'd like to just take a little moment of a break and watch and just kind of see where storms are going, and I'll pop back in if things get a little more interesting, especially if we can squeeze out a couple storms to the Houston area. Again, I'm not saying it's going to make it here, but anything's possible. We still have about, I don't know, an hour or two of sunlight, so we can see how close they can get and if they can maintain themselves. Right now, the storms that would be most likely to get there are not looking the greatest, looking a little clustered, not moving very fast, so I think that might limit things a bit. And checking back in on this storm over by Austin one more time, and I think we're this thing's starting to weaken quite a bit. Close, but no cigar on this storm here across the north sides of Austin. Probably seeing half-inch size hail, P to maybe nickel size hail in this storm here. Probably similar to what we were seeing in Round Rock a little bit earlier. So Caldwell is smoked, yes. Wellborn, how many cows got hit? Probably quite a few cows, Darren. I'm just reporting what is going on here. And what else we have? Okay, all right, yeah, so I think, guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to with the in-between broadcast with the music, and we will jump back in if anything of note happens, and we'll send it out. If it's a little bit of a while before I come back on, I might even end the stream and start it over and send a push notification. But for those of you who've been watching, thanks for watching and sharing this video. We had quite a bit of viewers answering questions and everything. Put a comment in the comment section below, and you can we can try to answer questions for you as this live stream continues, just with music playing and the thing you guys see in the background. And until then, I'll see you guys later. If we don't do anything else the rest of the day, have a great rest of your Sunday. The map is available for purchase now. The proper name, the house counts and everything will be worked out in the coming couple hours here as storms start to wind down a little bit and we can catch up. And we can even put the link in the comment section below for you guys to go check that out. So, well, I'll see you guys later, later tonight or maybe even tomorrow. Signing off.